Hey friends, it's Sam from DIY Huntress, and today is finally the day I get to reveal the dream bedroom makeover that I did for my parents. In my last video, I showed you how I created this DIY board and batten wall behind me, and in today's video, I'm gonna cover everything else. My parents are so stoked about this transformation. I'm so stoked about this transformation. I cannot wait to share it with you all, so let's get started. Just want to kick off this video with a huge thank you to my partners at the Home Depot who helped me make this project come to life for my parents. So let's start at the very beginning of this project. My parents moved into this house about 3 years ago, and they have worked super hard to make this home feel like theirs, but have yet to do anything to their main bedroom. Now, my mom has been dreaming up an epic makeover for this bedroom for the longest time, so this year, for a collective Mother's Day and Father's Day gift, I decided to finally give my parents the bedroom of their dreams. And honestly, this project could not have come at a better time, because if you have been following me for a while over on Instagram or my website, you will know that every single year for Father's Day, my dad and I work on a project together. Last year was the laundry room, the year before that was the basement, and this year it just made total sense to start tackling this bedroom together as our annual project. So to get started, on Father's Day, my dad and I geared up and prepped this room for paint by removing anything that was on the walls and just patching up any holes, as well as the ceiling, which was not on the original agenda, but my dad had other plans. Leave this guy alone for 5 minutes and he's already cutting holes in the ceiling.
Not my ceiling.
It is your ceiling. You mad at that spot?
Yeah.
Oh, now we gotta paint the ceiling? I'm gonna have like a temper tantrum. A brat-sized temper tantrum. I hate painting ceilings. I love that you're wearing your do-it-yourself shirt. You're such good marketing for my brand.
Do it yourself.
You're doing a great job. All right, so after patching the entire room, including portions of the ceiling that my dad really wanted to redo, but all good, it's his bedroom, we then began to clear out most of the furniture minus the bed because A, we were waiting for the new bed to be delivered, and B, we needed this to be picked up by a special pickup service. Let's go. Loser has to paint the ceiling. I hate painting ceilings so much. So after clearing out the entire room minus the bed and singing songs about angst for painting ceilings, it was time to prep the entire room for a day of painting, and that included sanding down all of the patchwork we had done, as well as covering up the beautiful hardwood floors with some paper, because we definitely did not want to ruin these floors with paint. What's so funny?
You?
Why am I funny? I didn't do anything.
I look like your father. You're funny looking.
So he's your funny looking too.
I'm not your father.
Someone asked if these steps at the end of the bed were for you.
They are. My bed's so high, I had to get booster steps to get on.
It's a very short family. So the reality of a lot of room makeovers is that you tend to have to work around things that you have laying around, and this bed was kind of a problem, but we had to make it work. So we definitely covered it up using some paper drop cloths before we got started. And once that was ready to roll, we then started by painting the ceiling, which is obviously not my favorite thing to do. Luckily though, this part of the project went by super fast because I did have my partner in crime there to help me, and once it was done, we both did our little happy dance in my dad's favorite rave style of turning off and on the lights repeatedly while pretending that we're at a rave. Unfortunately, the dance party didn't last forever because there were still a couple of things that we needed to do before we could complete the second coat of paint.
Help!
You can't escape from that way. Let's go.
Help!
Come on. So a couple of things. One is that we definitely realized before we put the second coat of paint on that we forgot to remove the cover for the air conditioner. So we did that. And the other thing is that we ended up painting around this fan, but replacing it later because we did need the fan to run overnight to help with air circulation in the room. So that's why we didn't take it down before we did the second coat, but it all worked out just fine. Now, after that ceiling was painted, it was time to move on to the walls. So I started by removing all of the outlet covers, and I also sanded down any of the patches that needed more than one coat, and I wiped down all of the walls with a damp rag and allowed them to dry before getting started on the paint. So if you can't tell by some of the other rooms I've made over in my parents' home, my mom has a style. Particularly, she really prefers those like yummy grayish colors and blue slate accents. So that is exactly what we ended up doing for this bedroom. Luckily, the Home Depot app has this awesome paint calculator that I was able to use to calculate all of the paint that I needed for this entire bedroom without falling short or wasting a drop of it. Super simple to use. I was just able to plug in the dimensions of the entire room and it told me exactly what I needed to get the job done. Even cooler, the app also has a whole DIY and how-to section, which my mom 100% stocked before I started this project for her so that she could get some inspiration for exactly what she wanted done in this bedroom. And honestly, that made things way easier for me, so thank you, Home Depot. So after doing 2 coats of paint on most of the walls, it was time to work on the accent wall with all the squares on it, aka that board and batten wall. And I have a full video of this entire process on my YouTube channel already. It's kind of like the pseudo part 1 of this bedroom makeover video. So definitely go check that out if you're interested in seeing how I tackled this wall from start to finish. I share some tips. I share how this process went for me. It was a massive project that was definitely too much to fit in this video, so if you're interested, I've definitely linked it below this video in the video description for you to check out. Long story short though, friends, this wall made a gigantic impact in the space, and it was the one thing that my mom was just dying to have in her bedroom, and I'm so glad that I was able to make it happen for her, and honestly, it just transformed the entire bedroom completely. But back to focusing some energy on projects I have not yet shown you in this bedroom. So after painting that accent wall, I decided that I wanted to focus some attention on the baseboard heating. My parents were missing a couple of the covers in this bedroom, so I was able to find what I needed at Home Depot, cut them down to size, and fit them together. And since everything was like 3 colors or more for some reason, I decided to sand down all of the baseboard radiators and then paint them. The one on the accent wall ended up being the same color as the accent wall, and the other portion of the room that had the baseboard heating, I did end up painting in white just to make everything feel fresh and bright. I also made sure to touch up all of the trim at the same time because after this, all of the painting was done and it was time to start moving in some of those beautiful finishing touches like the gorgeous accent rug that my mom found at Home Depot, as well as their brand new king-size bed, which was at the very top of the list of things that she wanted for their bedroom.
Perfect. I can see stars.
That's a problem because I didn't paint any stars on the ceiling, so.
Right.
Right where I left you. I was downstairs, I got a snack, I said hi to someone, and I got the hardware, and you're still where I left you.
Who?
You.
I'm sleeping in my new bed.
Obviously, my parents were very excited about this king-size bed. Luckily, since my partner in crime was back in action with me on this part of the bedroom makeover, we were able to get the bed assembled in about 30 minutes, if that. And once it was assembled, I was then able to also move the mattress into place with the help of my brother. And once that bed was in place, most of this bedroom makeover was done, and it was just time for some finishing touches at that point. Spoiler alert, the rest of this project went by so fast because we were able to get all of our home decor items shipped directly to my parents' home from Home Depot's website, which made the next couple of trips pretty easy because they were only up and down the stairs a couple of times. In fact, my parents were definitely more excited than I was that this project was coming to an end because that meant that they could commandeer the bed the night that we installed it and stop sleeping in the Murphy bed. So even though my parents had officially moved on back into the bedroom after we installed the bed, this bedroom makeover was not done yet because there were still a couple of things that needed to get done. First and foremost, I really wanted to get the nightstands into the bedroom. And again, on my mom's wish list, she really wanted a matching set of nightstands and the bed. And that's exactly what we were able to find on Home Depot's website. Even better for me, they were delivered fully assembled, so all I had to do was remove them from the boxes and place them where they needed to go, which was pretty awesome. Another thing that I was able to do the same day that I installed the nightstands was finish hanging all of the curtains, and I decided to go for very white sheer light curtains because my parents already have these awesome custom-made bamboo shades, so they don't really need any of like that light filtering or light blockingness to happen with the curtains. I just wanted something super light and airy to just bring some brightness to the room, and they were absolutely perfect. Another thing that I wanted to do, and I actually love doing, is I wanted to add some carpet tape to the area rug, and this is going to prevent it from curling up or slipping or moving in any way, which is super important because I don't want anybody to trip on this rug at any point. So there was one other project that I did end up doing for this space, and I'm going to be publishing a separate video for this at some point because I'm customizing it a little more after it's been installed for a little bit. I actually want to add a little more storage, but I did end up making a floating entertainment center, and I was able to hide the wires for the TV behind the wall. I will tackle this more in the video when it comes out, so make sure to subscribe to my channel if you're interested in seeing that in action at some point. After installing that floating entertainment stand thing, though, it was then time for the very final touches in this space, and it was time to call this bedroom makeover complete. My parents have worked so hard over the past few years to make this home feel like a home for everyone, and they always put themselves last, so it felt really awesome to finally be able to give them the bedroom that they had been dreaming of. It's seriously amazing how different this space feels, and that's after a couple of DIY projects. In fact, my mom is so excited about it that she said it feels like she's sleeping in a luxury hotel, and that totally feels like the most epic compliment. I am always so grateful to my parents for allowing me to learn and grow and DIY projects in their home, especially in spaces that mean a lot to them, like their bedroom. And the fact that they love it so much is just the icing on the cake. One day I'll have my own house to renovate, but for now, I am extremely thankful to my parents for allowing me to renovate their spaces. I hope you all love this project as much as we do. If so, please make sure to subscribe to my channel for more projects in the very near future. But until next time, friends, thank you as always for joining me on this journey, and happy DIYing.